just welcome to Crafting Around. I'm your host, Kelly Brandner, and we're going to be working on some stuff for Valentine's Day. I know it's January, but we are thinking ahead, and we are thinking around to Valentine's Day. So let's get started. I got a bunch of stuff laying around here, and we're just going to kind of go through things a little bit. But before you start, remember, there's always coffee. Okay, so the older I get, the less and less I decorate my house. So what I decided to do one day is I am shopping at Walmart. I decided to get a 2-tier stand. I like the galvanized look. I like kind of the rustic looking color. So what I did was I was at Walmart and I just so happened to pick this baby up. This here was kind of an ugly silver color, so what I did was I just painted it red to give it a little bit more color. What I do with it is every kind of occasion, holiday, something like that, I will decorate this instead of decorate my whole house. I do like this gets set in the middle of my table, so it is a centerpiece for me. I decorate it differently, just find things to throw in it. Definitely your choice of what you do, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do for Valentine's Day with this. Of course, I decorated it for Christmas, took all my stuff out. We're going to put stuff in. Some days, and it is an ongoing process. I see I didn't really clean it very well. I do kind of have an ongoing process because I make things and I throw them in there, and then I will go shopping. I have until February 14th. Who knows what you'll find? Who knows what you find on sale? You might find things that you maybe did put in here at the beginning, but decided, nah, I'm going to put something else in there. Change it up a little bit. Variety is always good. What I did use before, and I will show you that, I used some doilies that I had at home. You want to kind of put something in here a little bit. The reason I use white, or I did find some that are kind of an off-white color in my house. We're going to maybe try using these. If we don't use them, we can switch them out. The reason that I do use those, I don't all the time, but a lot of times I do, is because if you want things up a little higher than what it is here, because you're going to want to set things up, you're going to want to put things down. I'm going to put a chunk of wood underneath here, or I am using a lot of jars, and what I'm going to do with the jars is the lids I'm going to take off, and then I will put the lid underneath here to make that portion of it stand up a little higher. Like I said, depends on what you're looking for. You maybe don't want to use anything. Depends on what you use to make things stand up a little bit. You may not want to use anything at all. You may like the color to see. You may take some really nice pieces of wood, which I'm going to do at some point in time. I do have some chunkier pieces, but I haven't really sanded them yet, and they look kind of rough. I will probably stain them, maybe nothing at all. Maybe just put the wood in there and see how I like it. A lot of times I do things, I walk away from it, come back to it, look at it, think, well, that doesn't look so bad. Maybe a day later I walk by it and go, ooh, wow, I did that. That doesn't look very good. So then I'll change it up again. Different things you can do. You don't have to make it expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. And I'll show you some stuff and tell you some stuff that I've probably seen that I haven't made here yet, but I've seen it, liked it. I'm a big dollar store girl when it comes to things for decorating things. I buy a lot of things in the dollar store and just makeshift them. For instance, Santa Claus. I was looking for Santa Claus, the beard part of it and the hair part of it, but I didn't want to pay the awful dollar amount for something like that. So what I did was I went in and I bought 2 Santa Clauses that I thought looked awfully scary to me, but I liked the beard and I liked the hair on the Santa Claus. I bought it and ripped it apart. For $1, I thought for $2, I had all this hair and I had an ornament that I absolutely couldn't. I deciphered a lot of stuff from it, but I ended up throwing most of it away. But I did save the hair, I saved the bell off of it, I saved some of the red felt from it. So there were some pieces that I did end up saving from it. So you can do things like that. Another thing that I did was walked in and got some jars. It's really glass things for $1. I mean, you can go to Hobby Lobby as well. Like this little jar, this little baby right here was $1.99. I got it half off. I paid $1 for it. So I would have paid the same thing that I paid at the dollar store. But just to show you some things that you can do, very simple, not so terrible expensive. Okay, here we go.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. Ask us about the brand new Choice TV package. Call Valley today at 437-2615.
First of all, I kind of like things to just hang over a little bit to give a character. You can go and find, nowadays you can find some cheaper fabric as well to put in here, but sometimes it clashes with stuff. If you get it too loud, it will clash with the stuff that you're putting in here. That's why I decided to go with white or an off-white look, because that's kind of the theme in my house anyway, is grungy, not in dirty, but old, vintage, grungy. I don't know, some of them call it shabby chic, I guess. Vintage, yeah, you get it. So let's start here. I'm kind of looking at this going, yeah, okay, it looks about right. Like I said, I'll walk by it 10 times and change it 10 times. But this is what I am putting in here. I went and got a bunch of hearts. Just some plain wooden hearts. Found those on sale for a bag full. They were $5.99 there were quite a few of them in that bag. They were $5.99 and I got it half off. So I didn't feel so bad about that. This is what they look like. Just plain wood, blonde wood. What I did was I took some of them and I decided on the colors I was using. I wanted to use about 4 main colors. So I use antique white, which is my stationary one that I have at home. And these two are cheap, like $1.49 for a bottle of this. I decided to use the fuchsia color because I wanted something dark pink. I did decide to go with red. I didn't use red a whole lot, but I used red a little bit. And then I have a carousel pink that I use. So it's not as rough as what the fuchsia looks like. Then I went shopping again, okay? Found bubblegum pink. Who can resist bubblegum pink, right? So I kind of threw some bubblegum pink in there. Okay, so I try to stay with anywhere from 3 to 4 colors. Well, guess what? I ended up with 5. So is what it is. Okay, now the other thing that I use is I use the Minwax. And of course I use this when I do my vintage and I do my different kinds of sanding and stuff like this. I put a little bit of a coat on this if I want it to look like that. With this project right here, with this little bottle, looks like a little milk bottle, I didn't do that. I didn't grunge. What I did instead was I pulled out some scrapbooking paper. Okay, so with my scrapbooking paper, I went and I looked for pink, and what did I have? Paisley pink, yes. I like paisley pink. Polka dots. Regular. Chevron with some writing behind it. Make it look a little grungy dungy. And then just your plain old chevron, okay? What I did after I was done painting, okay, let that dry, let it all dry, gave it one coat on the top, the sides, and then on the back. And then I thought, okay, now I'm going to use some of this because we're going to mix it up a little bit. I took paper like this, and then what I did was I cut out a square. Yes, you did hear me right, a square. I didn't paint the other side because I wanted it to leave it the blonde side like this. So I took this, I'll set this down for right now, and then I used Mod Podge. I took the Mod Podge, I painted it, I scrubbed pretty nicely on here, just let it set for just a few seconds, took it and put it on my little square, okay? Set it to the side, let it dry real good. Then what I did was I took a really small scissor, a scissor that is nice and sharp. Let's see if I have my scissor in here. Got quite a load of stuff around here, so let me see if I got my scissor in here. Nope, what I used is just a really little scissor, and the scissor is more or less like for your fingernails, for your toenails, but it was really nice to go around here. So I got, when I took most of it off, okay, I got something in the front then that kind of looked like a little, I got as close to the edges and stuff as I could, and it made it look like the heart, but it wasn't quite there yet. So what did I do? I took an emery board because Emery boards I use, and I use them as a sandpaper. I went around and I took the emery board and I just went like this, all the way around the edges. And when you go like this, it takes the paper off. So now I've got what I think is a pretty good looking heart from all of that. Again, left it blonde, went up to the sides, kind of in onto the corners, and you want to go back like this with it, because if you go front like this, you are going to take it off. It won't stick on. So keep going until you get your desired look. And yes, you may get some of the paper, the color of the paper coming off, but that doesn't matter. It still looks really cool. So that is how I made these. Now, as you can see in my jar right here, I've got it so that I can see the different kinds. I can see the colored ones. I can see the ones that I've used my scrapbooking paper with. So we got all different kinds of colors in here. Okay, that's one thing that we're going to put in. So I probably, on this deal, I spent $1 on the jar. Probably ended up spending, well, $5. I think the deal was like $5 for the whole bag of small hearts like that. I got it half off, so $2.50. That was like $3.50 right there. I try to stay within a certain budget that I have for myself. Okay, that takes care of that.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
Okay, now what I did with this is I start at the corner, going to go along the line here, and I'll tell you what I did. And we will keep going like that, and then we will put it together and put it in the basket, and I'll show you kind of how I arranged them. Okay, the next deal was this. It's just twine, and it's twine that is spun on kind of like a spool. Okay, I thought, wow, how fitting is that? For $1, I can place that anywhere. Remember, it doesn't have to be hearts. It doesn't all have to be hearts. You can use different things. You can use different colors. It's all up to you what you want to use. I like the pinks, the different colors of pinks and stuff like that for Valentine's Day. Okay, have this now for $1. And look at what else I found. My bubblegum pink one. Now, if I would have wanted to, so you can see these are different colors of pinks. Okay, just another filler for the basket for another $1. I could have taken this here and I sanded it just very lightly, and I could have colored. I could have either painted it a color, or I could have taken it, sanded it, and used the stain and stained it a little bit. Again, your preference of what you want. I just let it go. Okay, then I had a spool at home. Just a regular spool. You can buy these. They come in bags, different sizes. I'm looking to find like a bigger spool, and what I think I'm going to do is I am going to start making my own spools. So that'll be another deal that we got coming. So I had some pink twine at home that I was using for a different project. So I just took the twine and wrapped it around this spool. Just another filler. Okay, so now we are up to, this is a filler and 3 other items. We've got 4 items as a filler right now. Okay, wondered, okay, what else can I do? I found these cool small mason jars, and I thought, how cool are these? I know I have buttons. I wonder what I have for buttons. So truck downstairs to my craft room, and what do I find? Red and pink buttons. And guess what? They fill my jar. So I have a bunch of different kinds of buttons. Some of them are vintage buttons. Some of them are buttons that came off of old shirts, old blouses, dresses. So I've got a bunch of red and pink buttons. Yay for me. What did this cost me? Really not a whole lot. It cost me for the jar. I'm not sure what the jars were because I really purchased, I think they come like 4 in a pack or something like that. I don't know what I paid for them because it's been a while ago already that I found them and fell in love with them. So we've got red and pink buttons in here. Okay, the next thing I did. $1 at the dollar store for 2 of these little babies. Loved these little mason jars. They just say the word mason jar on them. That's it. Love them. Okay, somewhere I do have the cap because I save all my caps for these. What I did with this is, and again, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be all hearts. Let me see here where I have that. As you can see, I'm somewhat organized, but not very organized. Those also came in a bundle. And what they are is they are just plain colored. I probably don't even have them. I don't have them here. What they are is they come in a bag. They're just a plain colored clothespin. And I know that I got these at Hobby Lobby. Just a plain colored clothespin. Have several of them in a bag. Not sure what I paid for them, but I never paid full price, so they were either half off or I used my 40% coupon at Hobby Lobby. Okay, I chose my colors again. I've got my red. I've got my fuchsia pink. I believe that's what these were, the fuchsia pink color. And then I chose the off-white color. Oh, I did stick one in here. Yeah, just plain blonde wood. It was smart to do that. Yeah, just plain blonde wood. So I've got my reds. I did 3 red because you're always supposed to do odd numbers. When you do stuff like this, odd numbers is always good. Did my fuchsias, and then I did my whites, my off-whites. What I did with that then is I took sandpaper and sanded them down, and then that's when I used this to kind of give these a little bit of an older look to them. Okay, then I found the jar that I want to put them in. And I found a perfect little jar to put them in, which made me happy. Now if you want to stand them up a little bit more, what you could do is you could put something in the bottom of this jar and then they would stand up a little bit. I don't mind leaving them just exactly like this. Again, something as simple as a clothespin gave you some color to put in your deal for Valentine's Day. Okay, next, what I did was I had a jar at home like this, plain colored jar. So I took the sheepskin colored chalk paint and I painted this. When you use chalk paint and you paint on glass like this, do 1 coat and leave it go for at least 4 to 5 hours. Let it set, let it simmer, let it take its steel. Then I coated it again. I gave this 2 coats. Once I was done coating it, I took clear acrylic. I use matte all the time because I don't like everything shiny, and I gave it a coat of spray. And what that does is when you go to wipe it with a wet cloth, you're not going to take the paint off. If you wouldn't use acrylic spray and you would take a wet cloth and you would want to wipe this down, you wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, you would take the paint off, but now with the acrylic spray, the paint won't come off of it. These are pieces of driftwood. What I did was I took the driftwood, which is blonde color. Again, you get a lot of these in a bag. I don't know the price of these. I took my, and this is called Early American 230 Minwax, and I did it in the back, and then I painted the colors. I did 4 of these, should have done 5 or only 3, and I ended up using the antique white. I ended up using the red because I wanted a hint of red, but not red on everything. And then I used the fuchsia color. And then I went after it with sandpaper and took the Minwax and put it on. Okay, stand these up in here. Now what I could do to get these up a little higher, because I painted the glass, I can actually put something in here and make it stand up so that you're able to see those a little bit more. And we will do that once we start putting stuff into the two-tier stand. Okay. The other thing I found, another cute little bottle for $1. I'm into little jars. Okay, chunky, I like it. It's different than this. It's different than all of them that I have. I like different. What I did was I had some wood buttons, just some plain wood buttons. I took them, and again, they're in this kind of a color, just the blonde wood color. I took them, I used the stain here. I took the stain, weighted a little bit, and then in the inside what I did was I took Mod Podge. I put the Mod Podge in there, I waited for a little bit, and then I chose the colors that I wanted to use here for the glitter. Took the glitter, poured the glitter on here, let it set for a little bit, dumped it off. Then I went around with a towel, took off the glitter that I had on the top here because I just kind of wanted it in the inside. So took a towel, a little bit wet, went around it, then I took them and I set them on the floor, and then I went after them with the clear acrylic spray. What that does is it sprays and it holds the glitter in so that you don't have a bunch of glitter coming off all the time. Yay! So, with that being said, now I've got a jar that has red, the fuchsia, and then I used kind of like a gold color like this, which I really, really liked. Really turned out pretty. I'll have to remember to use that again sometime. So, now we've got buttons. We got more buttons, but just with colors in the inside of them. Now you can take these out. If we've got too many jars that it doesn't look good, we might just use those as fillers in the inside. But again, we'll have to wait and see.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Okay, the other thing that I have is I purchased this little pickup. It's not the red pickup that you see every day. Of course, I have to go off the cuff. I can't be like everybody else and, you know, get the red pickup. So I got myself a black little pickup. Love it. Love, love, loved it. So what I did was I took some felt and I cut up some hearts. Okay, got the colored felt here, got this felt here, and then I took just some red. Could have used pink, could have used whatever color you wanted to, and went around and did a few different stitches, just some stitches that I kind of learned from my mom at home. Thought we'd throw a couple of them in there. Also have this in this fabric and just did the 3 different stitches. Now again, you can use fabric, you can use felt, you can use whatever you want to use, or use nothing at all. So we're going to use that little man. Then I happen to have just some plain wood hearts, like this. Took them, stained them, sanded them. Again, took my crafting paper that I have right here, cut out the heart to be a little bit smaller than that. And then what I did was I had some embellishments. I have some pearl embellishments. Didn't want to go all the way around it and really make it in your face. So I just took 5 of them, put them on the bottom here. With this one, it was kind of like, this one had the pearl, this one has the bling. So I put that in there. What we're going to do with these is we're going to try something a little bit different. I didn't do this at home, so hopefully it turns out. What we're going to do is we're going to take them, we're going to put them on a stick, and I have, again, I have whole cloves and cinnamon boxes, empty, but we're going to take them and we're going to put them in here. We're going to stick them and put them on a popsicle stick, or a popsicle stick like this, or just some skinny sticks like this, and so that we can put them up to put them in there. And I thought this was kind of, you know, it's got red on it, it's got white on it, a little bit of blue. Okay, we're gonna rock with this. I didn't want to paint over the top of this. I thought it was just too cool to have like this. Okay, we've got some foam for the filler. We're going to try cutting this out, stick it in there, and then see how high we want everything, hot glue everything together, and hopefully it turns out. The other thing that we did, and I'm going to do this on the next project, is I took a piece of canvas, which is just plain small canvas like this, and we Mod Podged. What we did is we took tissue paper and we Mod Podged this on. I took a heart, I painted the back first of all. I painted the back of this with the heart, and then I just took the tissue paper that I liked, which is like this, and I just cut out, I just tore it. And then when I tore it, I took the Mod Podge and I took the back of it, put it on here, and I think this turned out pretty cute. This is actually one of my more favorite things. Just took some twine, put it around here, and then I happened to have a skeleton key, and I put the skeleton key in there. So that is also what we're going to use. We are going to, when you come back for the show next week, I will show you how we actually made this. Okay, the other thing that I have is a filler, and again, just a filler, is I have some pine cones. So I took one of the pine cones, and I actually just painted it pink. I used the off-white, used these colors right here that I had picked before. Just a filler, throw something in. We may use them, we may not use them. Who knows? So with the stuff that we have, let's just kind of start throwing things in the container, and then we are going to finish some of the projects because we're not quite finished yet. We're going to finish some. So, plus I have a few extra things here too that I found. I found this for $1.50, got it half off, 75 cents. So we're going to see if we can throw this in. I also found this that says love, 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 love. What we're going to do is we're going to take this heart and we're only going to paint one word love in here. Maybe the middle, maybe Kitty Wonka's, kind of depends on how I feel when I get to it. And then we're going to have these 3 hearts kind of together. We'll have to see how we put them together. And then we're going to take them and stand them in this box here. So wish me luck on that. Not sure how that's going to turn out, but we'll see. You always have to try new things. You can't be scared. You can't be afraid to try something new. Go for it. You like it, you see it, you want to try it, give it a whirl. The only thing is, start with something small. Okay. When I talked to you earlier, we talked about chunks of wood, right? Okay, here's my chunks of wood. A little chunkier maybe than when I need to use, but we've got some chunks of wood here. Gonna get some a little bit less chunky than this. But like I said, the other thing to use is the caps. Take the caps off of the jars. This one here actually fits on this little chunky jar right here. So take that off and use it. Okay, let's get started here. I'm going to take the pickup, and the pickup is going to go down here. As you can see, I'm not going to put anything right now in the, I'm not going to take anything in actually my water for my brushes. Oh, that leads me to brushes. If you find a brush you like, take good care of that brush, because you can buy the same one and it is not as nice as what you have before. Take good care of them, rinse them, soak them, wash them out, be nice to them. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna stand up a little bit because I wanna see. Okay, we want this here to stand in here. We might put this over here. Like I said, we'll change it probably 10 times from the time that we put it in. Okay, you can't really see that very good. Maybe put it like that. Put this little chunky one here. And again, you can use this, you don't have to. This is really quite thick, this doily. So when you set stuff in here, sometimes it gets too thick. That's the other thing you kind of have to look out for. Okay, I think I want this one to be a little bit higher. So we put that under the doily. We'll stand that little bugger up there, okay? You maybe want to put your pride and joys up in the front a little bit, okay? Here's my other guy, okay? He's quite short. Maybe you want to stick him in the front as well. Okay. Here's one of these. We'll kind of break that up a little bit. Let me see here what we have for blocks. I did try this at home couldn't really get some of the stuff that I liked, so maybe it'll work out here. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, like I said, you make everything work. Okay, so that's a little higher, that's a little higher. Kind of want to get something up there like that. Sometimes you got to try it more than once to find how you like it. I like these things, I like it filled. You may not get that look right away, but some of the stuff I like to have it filled, the look of fill. Okay, I do have some acorns and stuff at home, so what I might do is just put the acorns just kind of around it a little bit. I have to keep reminding myself that because it is February, we still got snow on the ground, so you maybe want to do something with a little bit of snow. I'm going to put this guy back here. Have to have something to hold him up a little bit because it's kind of heavy with the heart thing going on. Okay, we've got one more of these. Let's tuck him in here. And you may not see everything until you really get up to it, and that's okay too. It's all kind of how you want things to show, what you want things to look at. I like the pink, so I'm going to kind of go with the pink up here. Maybe shove him in the back a little bit more, shove him forward. Like I said, we'll look at him 10 times until we kind of decide how we want to fly with it. And like I said, another work in progress, to be honest with you, because who knows if I'll leave it this way. I may change it, I will certainly add more. There's no doubt whatsoever about that. I will be adding more. I just thought that this was so cool. It actually has a magnet on it. Seriously, huh? Pretty cool. I do like that. For 75 cents, I got a magnet too. Yeah, he's gonna stay like that. I kind of like him like that. Okay, we're gonna put our pink. We've got a pink pine cone, yeah. We're just gonna shove him in there. Maybe we'll shove him up here. We'll decide how we like him. Maybe I want this up here. Maybe I want this here. Here. And remember, we've got at least one more. We've got a couple things to put in here yet. So we will just kind of, oh, that makes him not be able to see him very much, and I don't like that. I like him to be seen a little bit more. Let's put it up here. Let's shove him back a little bit more. See how I piddle around? Sometimes I go on like this for a Saturday, a complete Saturday. I think my husband thinks I'm half insane by the time I get done. And as he walks by and I say, well, I changed it, what do you think? Oh, you changed it? Yes, I changed it. Okay, we're gonna let it sit like this for a little while. Like I said, till we decide. And I will have more. I want it to be full. So we're gonna let this be like this for a second. And we'll keep the blocks because we're gonna probably use the blocks again. So we'll just throw them right in here. And there you have the beginning of a Valentine's Day grouping. Come back and join us again the next time when we will be showing you how we do the Mod Podge. Like this, I've got a little bit different idea, same technique, just a different idea. We'll see how it works. Come back again for the next episode of Just Crafting Around.